Good morning and welcome to Headline Roundup. My name is Atiku Kimber. I just want to remind you your PVCs are very, very pivotal to deciding this election. Don't forget to pick up your PVC. It's very, very vital. And I have a guest in the house today. His name is Senator Ondo. He's popularly called Senator in the political climb because of his vast knowledge about the political scene in our country. Welcome to the show, Senator Ondo.
Thank you so much for having me once again.
And he is a member of the civil society organization, and his input in the national policy is one that we should actually be looking into at this occasion when we have a campaign of different parties actually glaring our TVs, and actually people are going out seeing what is going on and listening to the various candidates. And but particularly one that actually is going as a frontliner is the presidential candidate of the PDP, Atiku. And you are a member of the Youth Presidential Campaign Council. How have you viewed the campaign so far?
Yeah, thank you. It's just been a very interesting moment, since the campaign kicked off, and I've actually monitored, as a member of Nigeria Civil Society Organization, you can't dispute the fact that activism, there's no how you would still have political undertone or political affiliation, considering the fact that we speak truth to power, we hold government accountable, and in doing that, you have to ensure you try to bring the best political party in power to make them work for the good of the people, so that the work you're doing will not be in vain, because it's not just all about talking, but at least talking and taking active steps to make your words become actions. So that's why you see most of us who are members of the Nigerian Civil Society Organization, who are in the activism class, we still try to have political affiliation to enable words become action. We talked about even sensitization. We still vote. We just don't talk. We just don't criticize the government. We vote the right persons that we feel should be the person that will take the country to Eldorado. Monitoring the two elections, both across party lines, APC, Labour Party, and the People's Democratic Party. And the PDP, in all fairness, have been leading in this campaign so far. If you look at from their primaries, have been so organized in the selection of their vice president, down to the campaign times, the campaign kickoff, travel around most of all the states that they campaign, from Gombe to Kaduna to Borno, to Ondo, to Edo, to Akwa Ibom. We've moved around to Kwara. We move around everywhere. We've seen how the campaign process have been going, and it has been relatively peaceful. And you could see the acceptability across board. In Borno, although the government sent, agencies, those touts to attack the people, because you could know that they were government-sponsored touts, because they attacked the campaign train of the Atiku team, and the government do nothing about it. So it was so sad that, I was on air last time. I told them, I said, look, it's high time we take politics of bitterness out of this game if we must move forward as a nation. To campaign, to contest with you, so that you will know if the people really likes you, But sending talks and sponsoring talks to attack political party or deny political party of a space or a stadium space or campaign environment in your state, I think it's not too good for our political growth as a nation. So, and it's something that I think is common among this APC, right? Because it's never happened in the history of Nigeria, denying other political party of a campaign space in your state, or sending talks to attack political party whenever they are campaigning in your state. I think it's not a good thing, and other political parties need to really learn from PDP while they were in government, in the last dispensations. So, and going forward, look at Kwara too. Kwara was massive. You go to Kwara, the crowd was a standstill ovation in Kwara. It was everywhere, and it was something that it was something to be written in the sands of time. It brought my memory back of the things that Saraki have done, the legacy he have left behind, and it makes me to know that, look, when you're a good man, people will always talk about it, and your legacy will live on, and that's the thing that you will always fall back on. Saraki's integrity, the legacies he has lived on, proved the day the campaign went to Kwara. Same thing replicated itself in Ondo State yesterday. Ondo State was yesterday. The campaign was so massive, It was very, very massive. It was very, very peaceful. And all the campaigns so far have been peaceful, except the one in Borno State that the government sent talks to attack the people, because the police security personnel could not do anything about it when the cars were being vandalized. So, and you have police around. So it's so sad that every other state was really peaceful, and even Bonutu was peaceful. The crowd was so massive. So it shows that these guys are already feeling intimidated. The All Progressive Congress, they know that their days at the corridors of power is numbered. So I think they will do everything possible to make sure they jeopardize, the effort of every other political party.
Sorry to take you on that. I actually was watching the most of the morning shows earlier on. And I noticed that there was a particular recurring news that was on there. It was about electoral violence. And one would look at, just suppose, former elections and this current election. This is not a normal, usual election that we were having major contenders in this election. And are you foreseeing that the state apparatus could actually clamp down on or perceived violence in this election?
Yeah, you see, this is what we've talked about over and over again. That look, the state government should get to a level where you don't use government apparatus to oppress, intimidate, and victimize the people, like what we're seeing right now with the federal government, because power is transient, and these guys don't even know that. Most times when they are up there as a governor, as a local government chairman, or as a president, they forgot the fact that 4 years is very short. And whatever you do within that period will last the test of time. If you do good, it will last. If you do bad, it will last the test of time. I am hoping that the government will allow the INEC to be very, very much independent, because as it stands right now, they've not really been independent. They've been controlled by the government at the corridors of power. They don't have that free will to, to prosecute or arrest people who are the electoral offenders. So we are praying and hoping that come this 2023, the government will actually give the INEC a free hand, back them up with strong security forces to enable them carry out their will, and arrest whoever offends the law. But because of the way we are being brought up, because of the way we are being trained, the kind of orientation we have in this part of the world, you are a government. The moment you are a governor, you look like an emperor. That you don't want anybody to come to your state. Most governors even deny political parties of even erecting posters and billboards in their state. And I think INEC should do something drastic about it. But you wouldn't really blame the INEC, because the INEC, most of the electoral commissioners, the INEC officials, and a whole lot of others, most of them are being appointed not on the basis of credibility, not on the basis of competence, not on the basis of what they can offer, but on the basis of political affiliation. And until we put that aside from our independent electoral body, we will not still have a free INEC to do something that we have fed the common masses. As it stands right now, if you don't have political affiliation with the government at the corridors of power, you might not even become an INEC commissioner. A situation whereby the government at the corridors of power could even send names of people who have political affiliation to the National Assembly for them to screen without shame. So that goes to show how the level of the level of decay we have in the system. So we are hoping and praying and looking forward to a nation where you can actually allow the agencies that are independent to be truly independent. Yeah. So, and until we get to that stage, we will just still be remarrying down the same cycle.
Are you looking at more advocacy at this time? Are you looking at actually aligning with those who are actually in the corridors of power, those who actually saddle the responsibility to actually secure the nation? I'm talking about the police here. So what exactly is the civil society doing to negate this issue concerning electoral violence? Because looking at the electoral reform, it's actually a bet from the PDP government, from the Yar'Adua administration, which he left for his vice, who later became the president of the nation, President Goodluck Jonathan. So what are you in civil society doing to actually help, to actually mitigate this situation?
Fantastic. Times and times we've had meetings with security agencies and some government parastatals that are involved in orientations, like NBA, the Human Rights Commissions, the Fourth Estate of the Realms, and a whole of others that are involved in sensitization programs. And our messaging is very, very straightforward and is very key. We want government to allow institutions to be free. We want institutions to be strengthened. Because if as the executive stands right now, if I am not subject to you, if I don't obey what will please you, you take food out of my table. So we are looking for, our messaging is very clear. Government strengthen institutions, allow institutions to be free, allow institutions to be independent. Like the judiciary, let the judiciary be truly in judiciary. Don't interfere in their matters. Let the legislature, let them legislate indeed. Because if I'm the chairman on an oversight on a particular agency, and let's say I have an oversight function to do this, and I know if I am being sincere to actually scrutinize the government or the executive, they will send EFCC or ICPC or government agencies to victimize me. I'll be scared to do that. So, and until the executive understand that, look, the judiciary should actually have the autonomic power to dispense judgment without fear of evil. The legislature should be able to make laws that will affect the common masses. We will not move forward. The executive should be able to look at the interest of everybody. We will not make progress as a nation. So these are the things we're talking about. So most times we hold government accountable, because even the people that are expected to hold the government accountable, they are scared of the government to hold them accountable. So the little strength we have as a civil society organization, trying to work with the first sector of the realm, maybe with National Human Rights Commissions and maybe with some other agencies that could speak truth to power, we are trying to do that. So we are looking forward to 2023, which is practically the last freedom Nigerians are looking for, because 2023 is just like we're looking forward to a freedom, because as it stands right now, Nigerians are caged. We are caged. We are not free in our own country. We are like a slave in our own country right now. So we are praying and looking forward to a country, to a government, to emerge in 2023 that will liberate this nation. A government that will actually make the people independent. A government that will allow freedom of speech to be actually effective. A government where you can sleep with your two eyes closed. That's what we're looking at. A government where you not be scared to travel from here to Kaduna. A government where you not be scared to criticize the government, because if you criticize them, you know, when you be arrested. Well, that's not a nation we are looking at.
So on a progressive note, looking at the 2023 election, let's look at Ondo yesterday. The PDP has recovered Osun State. Absolutely. And now they are in Ondo. Yesterday was really a glamorous one. We saw people trooping out. You can see a clip that you see on the screen. But when we come back after this break, we'll show you some of the clips from Ondo and how the people, the acceptability of the candidate, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Stay tuned and we'll be back.
Atiku Abubakar is known to all of us as a Nigerian. We all know that he's a great unifier. And when you talk of unity of Nigeria today, has been bastardized by the present government. So we need somebody like Atiku Abubakar to come and unite Nigeria. Because the problem we are having today is in insecurity. Has to do with disunity. For us to solve insecurity problem, we need to unite as a people. Are you getting my point? And Atiku Abubakar is the only candidate out of all the candidates that we have presently that can unify Nigeria, because he has demonstrated it. He is somebody that married a Yoruba woman. I'm a Yoruba man. He married a Yoruba woman from Osun State. They have been in marriage for 40 years and the marriage is still standing. So what are we saying? Atiku is a nationalist. He has a nationalistic attribute. So Atiku stands a better chance. I don't have any doubt. I strongly believe that if Nigeria give him their vote and the mandate come 2023, Atiku is going to unify this country and the country will be better for it.
As one, we can get it done.
So welcome back, and you are still on Headline Roundup. Before we went on that break, we were talking about the acceptability of the candidate of the PDP, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, and his vice presidential candidate, Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa. Mind you, yesterday was also the Delta 22 opening, and we could see the acceptance from Ondo, and you can see from the clip that will be rolling on your screen right now that Ondo is actually PDP, even though it's an APC governed state. Senator Andrew, this has actually been very, very impressive outing for Alhaji Atiku Abubakar and his vice presidential candidate, Atiku Okowa movement. What do you see about this?
Yeah, fantastic. Like, if you look at most of the states that the PDP have traveled to, with the way they were being received, you will know that they are tired of APC. There is practically, you can't find a major development in most of the states. I was in Ondo yesterday. The airport is still very much the way it was during the PDP era. PDP built that airport. There is no renovation. There's no fresh thing, nothing. The airport is just the way it is. And we have APC in that state. Look at most of the roads in the state. They're in comatose. Prior to the era, PDP was in the state. There is no major project you can actually attach to APC government. But in Ondo, in every other state that they've campaigned. In Kwara, the same thing. Apart from the achievement that Saraki had in Kwara State, up to now, there's no major achievement that APC have done in Kwara State. Every major project you are seeing in Kwara State today were the last project Saraki did. That's why you see, most times they will say Saraki is the last productive Senate president. Same thing happens, Saraki is the last productive governor of Kwara State. Same thing in Ondo State. Since Mimiko left, Akeredolu have not done one major project in Ondo State. The roads are still where it is. The airport is still very much local. And you have an APC, I was like going to their VIP was just like a small kiosk. We're like so sad, like everywhere is bushy. And you have an APC government, so why wouldn't the people be tired? So when you're seeing the rousing ovation, when you're seeing the acceptability of the Atiku Abubakar-led campaign, you should not be surprised. Because the people are tired. They need to test another government. Look at Osun State. Osun State has become a small village. Wow. You understand? And that's one reason why you see when Adeleke won the election, the people were like, our Messiah have arrived. But I told somebody, I said, I'm not too much envious of Adeleke because the expectation is so high. I'm praying for the guy because I know he's going to deliver. The way the APC government messed up Osun State, Adeleke has so much work to do. When we went for the swearing in, the whole town was shut down. Everywhere was on a standstill because people were like, finally, we have gotten our freedom. Finally, we have gotten our liberation. We're caged. Where the state was being run like a dictatorship state. But this time around, they want to experience true democracy, which is what the PDP government have always given to most of the states that they have been that they govern. So I'm not expecting anything less when the Atiku Abubakar clinch the presidency for 2023. I know most Nigerians are so much excited and expecting victory for Atiku because they know that when Atiku comes, this abnormality, this victimization, this oppression we're experiencing from the APC government will be a thing of the past. Yeah,
thank you. Talking about victory in the election, a former governor of Kaduna State and also a former chairman of the PDP, Alhaji Makafi, has actually come out to say Obi and Kwankwaso should join hands and support Atiku Abubakar for victory. Yeah. And this correlation, exactly, is it a political gymnastics or is it something that needs to be done?
Fantastic. It's not a political gymnastics. Obi is from the school of thought of PDP. Kwankwaso is from the school of thought of PDP. Those guys Kwankwaso might just be an MPP in his body, but his spirit soul is still with PDP. Obi might be Labour Party in his body, but his spirit soul is still fully attached to PDP. Most of their principles, their line of thought, their upbringing is PDP breeded. It's just like as you are now. You are a son of your father. No matter how you try to deny your father, when people see your resemblance, they will know that your father is still your father.
Absolutely.
Yes, you can say you don't want to bear his surname, but the way you talk, the way you move, the way you behave, you have an identity of your father. So there is nothing Kwankwaso and Obi will want to do today that you will not have a trace to PDP. So they don't have a choice than to come back to their home, to their grassroots. PDP is their parents. Obi and Kwankwaso, PDP gave birth to them. So they don't have choice. Even though today they might run away, but they're still coming back home. They're still going to work for us. But I can categorically tell you that Peter Obi is working for PDP. Kwankwaso is working for PDP. So it's very important they go out to different political parties to galvanize vote for us. Because if all of them remain in PDP, we might not have that strength that month. So as Kwankwaso is the NAPP now, he has been able to galvanize members from other political parties to join NNPP, to work for PDP. Peter Obi is in Labour Party. He has been able to go to Labour Party to galvanize members from other political parties to be in Labour Party to work for PDP. So at the end of the day, PDP is going to form a government of national unity because Okwakwanso from NNPP is going to vote, tell his members to vote for PDP. He might not say it openly, but of course, he's going to definitely tell them to vote for us. Labour Party, PDP will do the same thing. So at the end of the day, when PDP emerges, we have to bring Okwakwanso on board to bring his wealth of experience to the table. We bring Peter Obi on board to bring the wealth of experience to the table. We can as well give them major ministerial appointments so that we can form a government of national unity to move the country forward. Because it stands right now, irrespective of the political affiliation, when PDP government emerges, we're going to bring people across board to ensure we form a government that will make this country, because it's about Nigeria first. So Okwakwanso should just be doing what he's doing, because at the end of the day, he's going to bring that bulk vote to PDP because he cannot win the presidency. So instead of him to waste the vote, he's going to bring it forward because we're going to compensate him. Same thing is going to happen to Labour Party, to Peter Obi. So they're going to bring their own bulk vote to PDP, and we're going to compensate them too. Breed them very well. We still need to train them. Fine, Peter Obi is a fantastic presidential product, but it's not ripe to govern this country yet. He still needs more training from PDP that have the wealth of experience. So let him go and get his training from Labour Party, then bring the votes to us. Then we will not, at the end of the day, when we train him, when it's time for us to hand over power to them, we will not consider, is he not ripe enough? Has he been groomed enough to become the president? Then we will not know what to do to make a decision at that time.
Senator Andrew, a quick one. Are you telling the Nigerian populace that Okwakwanso and Peter Obi are actually studio working for the PDP in their various parties, and as also a presidential candidate? Because this is a situation that many have rumored that even as Okwakwanso will actually relinquish his ambition
Absolutely.
to Alhaji Atiku Abubakar.
Absolutely.
And that Peter Obi will actually, in the event of this campaign, will actually come back to the PDP. Now, are you affirming this situation to be true?
Of course, they are going to work for PDP because as it stands right now, APC is a no-no in this campaign. PDP is the leading train. PDP, if you look at all the presidential aspirants, PDP is Atiku Abubakar is the most experienced, is the most competent, is the most reliable, is the most healthy, is the most straightforward, is everything you can talk about. Is the most presidential. So you're going to see the game. You know, there are some things I can't stay on air, but the way we play this joker, we stay at the dashboard, we stay at the back end. We see from afar the things we see. You are the first set of the rain, you might not be able to see it. But I can categorically tell you that there's a game of chess going on in this political field. And it's going to be like, you know, there's a wise saying that said, when it turns around the table, it looks as if we are dreaming. That is what it's going to look like for the All Progressive Congress.
Sorry, it's Kaduna PDP.
Of course.
Erufai
is Atiku's boy. He's working. Erufai, I don't think have choice to work for us.
There was violence that occurred.
No, that's why I said there are some things you cannot see. I am at the heart of the game. You are not in the heart of the game. So there are some things even though I try to explain to you, you will not understand. You understand? Because you are not part of the people that are playing the chess.
So you are telling Nigerians now that Kaduna is PDP. Even
I say
Erufai
is going to give us a bulk vote. Take it from me today. I'm coming to this studio. I will tell you that PDP will win Kaduna with a wide margin. Erufai have nothing to lose. He's already done with his 10. So he needs to retire. And if he has to retire, he has to be careful because he knows that the Atiku is going to take over in 2023. So he won't want anything that will put him in trouble because of most of the abnormalities and the mess he has created in Kaduna State. So he will do everything possible to make sure he pleases Atiku. So, and how will he do that? He has to give us a bulk vote. But you know, because he's in APC, to avoid them seeing him doing anti-party, he will definitely see work for APC in the euphoria. You understand? In the open. But the truth remains, you and I know that PDP trained at Erufai, breeded him up, make him who he is today. So he cannot pay us back by voting against us. He has to vote for Atiku. Because this is his last. He's going out of power.
Let's go to another situation that actually is making headline today. We're talking about the COS, the Chief of Army Staff. The High Court has actually issued his arrest warrant, and also is also affecting another commanding officer. And we're looking at this as a recurring trend now in the APC-led administration. Is this the way to go?
This is what I keep on telling you, that you see the APC administration have made the judiciary you know, it's so sad that the judiciary that PDP once celebrated, PDP once elevated, as it stands right now, the APC government, they don't even respect rule of law. They don't obey court order. So even if judiciary order warrant of arrest in most of these APC chieftains, the people that are not supposed to be above the law, but because they control people at the corridors of power, they control things, they will assume they can always go scot-free. And these are the abnormalities we need to come and correct. A lot of things are wrong. The system is in a mess. The system is decaying. Institutions are getting weakened. You know what Jonathan was trying to do that they were calling him weakening? Jonathan was not really weak. It's not as if Jonathan could have done most of this maladministration that APC is doing. Jonathan was only trying to bring a 21st century democracy, trying to institutionalize what a standard democratic practice should be. What is what these guys are not doing?
Because the issue against these people, the suits against them was that they are in contempt of courts. And Justice Alima was the one who actually pronounced that they should be arrested. But now, looking at it, if a high court of competent jurisdiction could actually make such kind of pronouncement, can they actually forward this to the military administration, whereby they could actually take disciplinary action against these people if they have actually verified, because these commandants are actually supposed to be fighting the Boko Haram,
absolutely
fighting the insurgency that's actually surrounding most of our borders. Now, I'm asking, is this how we want our judiciary to play out?
That's not how we want it to play out. Those are part of the school of the school of thought and the things we're trying to fight from the civil society organization. Now, look, these guys felt they are above the law. They felt they cannot be arrested. They felt you can't do anything to them. Even we now, we're even scared of most of this judiciary, because judiciary that the judges, that if you pronounce judgment against somebody who feels is superpower, they can victimize you. It's in this government you see that judiciary were being victimized. It's in this same government you see that judiciary were being oppressed. It's in this government you see the judiciary were being harassed. It's not done anywhere. The international community, they are laughing at us, they are making mockery of us. Because the APC government have rendered every institution worthless and useless.
Sorry to digress. In this same administration, we saw a candidate of a party who came fourth in an election and was actually adjudged by the Supreme Court to actually be the first. So we are looking at this judicial debacle that actually has bewildered this country.
Those are some of the challenges, because if you even look at the judiciary, there are some judgment they pronounced. You don't begin to wonder that these guys, are they actually practicing what our forefather believes in? Are they actually executing the law the way it should be? You know, most people have accused the judiciary of being financially induced. You know that they collect money and they make pronounced judgment, and you can always buy judgment. A lot of people have actually accused the judiciary. But we are looking to show that judiciary should try and the people to redeem their image. They should stand their ground. They should understand the fact that they cannot fight for themselves. But we, the civil society organization, we can actually fight for them. Of course, time and time with that number, we've done a series of protests in this country that uncountables. Last time the police personnel, we went to First Equator, we protested. So the judiciary should understand that they have us, for the civil society organization, to always fight for them. Of course, we cannot carry arms, but we can actually draw the attention of the international community. We can actually draw the spot, make Nigeria a spotlight in the whole world. We have the tools to do it. Nigeria's civil society organization is very, very strong. But just that the government is trying everything possible to weaken our strength, intimidating our people, killing our people, victimizing our people, kidnapping and arresting them. We just lost one of our best hands of recent, Ario. May he so rest in perfect peace. But in the ideal sense, Ario is gone for good. A lot of Ario are still very much on the line. You see, one beautiful thing about this, our project, is this. We live our life one at a time. Where it ends, that is the end. With the legacy continues from there. That is the beautiful thing of it. So the government should understand that there are still some strong voices that can speak true to them, irrespective of who else is involved. Because the prison and the graveyard were made for human beings.
Sorry to actually take it. I like your direction, and it's taking us to the next story that actually made headline throughout this week. It has been a headliner, and one would worry that this is an embarrassing situation, as he says. That is talking about the young man Aminu, who was arrested, arraigned secretly, and jailed. And this was a case about where he actually said something about the first lady of the country, Aisha Buhari, where he made a mockery of her size before she took power.
He didn't, I'm sorry to cut you, he didn't make a mockery of her size. He said, what, is she not really big? When Aisha was, when the APC-led administration came into power, was Aisha that fat? Was she that big?
So are you in line with what Aminu said?
All Nigerians are in line with what Aminu said.
Because this is actually a very worrying issue.
You understand? How can you be arresting a 23-year-old boy, a small boy? Just, he's not criticizing you, he only made a speech. That Aisha Buhari is so big, he's looking fat. All of a sudden you picked him up because you can victimize your people.
Because this is
where is it done anywhere in the whole world?
I'm going to ask you, where is Daddy Atta?
We should be asking El-Rufai because he was picked from his own state. El-Rufai as a sitting governor, a citizen, a Nigerian citizen is missing in your state for years now. You can't do anything about it. And today we can't find that guy. One of the brightest brains we have in this country.
Because same way he was abducted from his house. He was coming back from work.
Exactly. He was picked up. Today we can't find that Atta. We'll be asking questions. DSA refuse to say something. Security agency and government agency refuse to say something.
Please just hold your thoughts on that. Our people will run a video to show exactly that this is something that the PDP has been leading. The PDP has been a voice for freedom, for free speech. And you can see that one of the leading voices there, Barrister Anthony Helebo, who actually spoke truth to power and asked that the Atta should be released by the DSS. And our own Senator Andrew was also leading from the civil society organization. Watch this video and we'll return to talk about it.
Abubakar Idris is popularly known as Abu Hanifa Daddy Atta, a lecturer at the Federal University, Dutema, Katsina State. He is also a public affairs analyst and a social media activist based in Kaduna State, who was abducted from his home on Thursday, August 8, 2019. Reports have alleged that officers of the Department of State Security Service were involved in his abduction. In view of this, the digital media team of the People's Democratic Party, through the head of its new media, Anthony Ehilebo, in this protest, are demanding that the DSS High Command clear the air as to their alleged involvement with Daddy Atta's abduction and take immediate steps to ensure he is free from his abductor.
All we are asking for is that we want to know the whereabouts of Daddy Atta. If the DSS do not have him, they should come out categorically and say.
Absolutely.
For how many years now?
Yeah.
We still keep asking the question, where is Daddy Atta? Is that the same way we're going to be asking, where is Aminu? Because this same young man was arrested, abducted. Let me just use the word arrest. He was abducted.
Absolutely.
Tortured, was allegedly tortured. And now he has been jailed. Nobody even knew when he went to court. So, but now he's in jail. I think our judiciary should actually be looked into critically, because I think a sense of reasoning and a sense of responsibility should come to the judiciary, whereby a judge should be able to understand that, I should be able to hear this bail of this guy. Absolutely. At the same time. You're also trying to send him to jail. Because this actually bordered on the line of just mere misunderstanding. So I don't know how the civil society are playing their part.
No, we're holding meetings on the ground as regards this Aminu, because we're not going to let it go the way Daddy Atta's own wins, you know.
Because this
Aminu
this
must be
issue
released.
actually went viral yesterday when Deji Adeyanju also made a lengthy speech.
Absolutely.
About
the national unity leader of the People's Democratic Party, that's Prince Mohammed Suleiman Kandede, have actually condemned in strong terms that you can't intimidate your own people. You can't be victimizing your own citizen. You can't be oppressing your own citizen. And the PDP youth leader have asked the APC Buhari administration to immediately release that boy unconditionally. And if they don't do that, I know the PDP leader very well, is going to put this government to a standstill if they don't release that boy. Because we can't have young people being adopted in their own country. We can't have young people being killed in their own country. We can't have young people's voices being mined in their own country. It's wrong, and we call on every citizen to keep on blending their voice to these things, because it can happen to you and I. You understand? People are being killed, you don't say anything. People are being adopted, you don't say anything. When it comes to your doorstep, who will say something?
And
this is a young boy that was adopted for just no reason, because he criticized a government, a wife of a president. For God's sake, people criticize the American president, American citizens. And American citizens listen to them. What feedback mechanism does this government have in place? That's why they are messing up. That's why they are becoming a disaster to everybody. That's why they're becoming a laughing stock to the international community, because they don't have a feedback mechanism that tell them what people say about them. And they're not even willing, they're not ready to listen to correction.
At this time, we need to also recall that a president of this country made a public pronouncement that he is the most abused leader in the country, and that when he leaves, that people will actually appreciate the freedom they enjoy by abusing him, and he's not taking any action. And today, Nigerians are beginning to regret.
They are regretting. Nigerians
are beginning to look at what exactly was the mistake they did to actually vote in an APC government.
Can I give you a shocker? Is even this boy that because the student, that's why people are even aware. You know, there are so many people that you'll be shocked that a lot of people that these guys are picking up on a daily basis that people are not even aware about. People are not. We just see people are missing. That is how deadly this APC government is deadly.
We can step outside and we'll be picked up from
these guys are not to be trusted. APC government is not to be trusted. They're not to be trusted. They are APC government. They are not to be trusted.
Well,
every Nigerian should be scared of APC government.
Let's go back to the
and they should vote them out of the corridors of power. If they don't do that, I can assure you, I'm scared.
Let's go back to Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, my covenant. He spoke about the level of insecurity in the nation, and he actually prescribed that every entity that does not support state policing is actually bewildering and putting this country into a kind of calamity state. And you have been speaking about this insecurity issue, and now we are talking about insecurity of our own security apparatus, because they are using our own security agents against the people. So now, if we are talking about state policing, are we right to be predicting that state policing will actually solve the problem of insecurity in this country?
It's part of it that is going to solve it, because in my own state, if I have my state policing, my local people that understand my language, understand the movement of my people, they can easily guide me. I can easily respect them. That's one advantage about state policing, because if the local government divisional police officer is from my village, assuming, you understand, at the state policing level, the people that are recruited to guide the state, to guide the local government are from my village. Do you know the leaders in the village, they know the criminals in that village? You and I grew up in the same village for 10, 15, 20 years. We will know the criminals among us. If a fowl get missing, we will know, go to that house, go and ask also person, you will get your fowl there. If your television get missing, now this person go and meet him, you see your television in that house. That is the advantage of state policing and local government policing. Because the people within the community, they know themselves, they know the criminals in that community, they know the people who can commit crime in that community. They'll be able to guide them. Those people in that community, they will not even want to commit crime in that community, because if they go outside the community, they can really run back home and be safe. You don't understand? That's why they always say this adage that always say, criminals don't rob in their own vicinity.
Wow.
Because they tend to be sent to their vicinity, so they go outside to rob. So if you have state policing, you will see that people within it will be difficult for people to come and rob. It's difficult for criminalities. It's difficult for insecurity to happen in that community, in that vicinity, in that state, because they understand themselves. If anything happens to be external forces, then the internal forces will rebel them.
Senator Andrew,
you see the advantage of that?
Senator Andrew, we don't really have much time to go on the show, but before you leave, I would like to take your inputs on this. The chairman of INEC has said something, that's Professor Yakub, have said that the news that we are hearing that people are not going to vote without their voters card, that you'll be using the beavers. What is the civil society doing to enlighten the people that without the PVC, because I think this distraction is coming from the APC-led administration to disenfranchise people, because this actually is going to, because they have been, after their review of the Osun State election, they found out that the beavers was the headache they had, because they could not rig because there was a beavers machine. So what is the civil society organization doing to actually eradicate this kind of rumor mongering that might actually disenfranchise most major Nigerians from going to the polls?
Like most of the things we've done, we've actually done a lot of sensitization prior to this era. You know, last time I was on AIT, and I made them to understand that, look, The INEC himself, a lot of Nigerians have actually lost faith in INEC because INEC have proven to Nigerians that their vote will not be counted prior to this era. You know, so a lot of people don't even believe in INEC again because of they've not been independent. They've not really given Nigerians the reason to actually go out and vote. But most of the test run they've done, like in Ondo, in Osun, and in some few other states that, you know, they allow the votes to count. People could see the will, their vote being counted, their effort not being. We're going to work in synergy to ensure that we sensitize the people that, look, go out there, collect your PVC. Go and vote, your vote will count. It will be monitored. In after it's going to be transmitted from the unit level. You know what you voted, everybody will be recording it. So this election is going to be very difficult for APC to win. And they're already foreseeing that. So that's the reason why you see that they are really scared. Most times you don't blame them too much. They've looted so much, they've considered so much atrocities in this country that they need to look for every avenue to ensure that they cover all their loopholes. So they are scared for every other. Look at what happened in Osun State. The governor Oyetola refused to hand over. You understand? He refused to give Adeleke a handover note because the guy have messed up the state so much. He has mortgaged the destiny of the state. The state is in comatose. The state is at the verge of decaying, collapsing. So the guy has to just run away. So that's why you see APC government is trying everything possible to ensure that they avoid free, fair, and credible election because they have destroyed the country in such a beyond repair. So an Atiku is coming to survey the situation. So they are scared that most of these damages that we've done, if Atiku come, how do we defend them? You understand? Because Atiku is going to strengthen all institutions to ensure that they are constitutionally empowered to carry out their duties.
Thank you, man.
So
thank you,
we hope and pray that Nigeria see light at the end of the tunnel. But they should know that the civil society organization is going to stand against injustice, against victimization, against oppression, and against intimidation. If you kill one civil society member, 100 of them will arise. If you adopt one, 1,000 will arrive. They should understand that fact. We will keep speaking truth to power until we have a Nigeria of our dreams. A Nigeria where the son of nobody can become somebody without knowing anybody. You don't need to have a name for you to have a freedom in your own country. Absolutely. This is our country. We are all stakeholders in this project called Nigeria, and it must work.
Absolutely. Thank you, Senator Andrew, for being on the show. You've really spoken so well. And I want to tell Nigerians that the mission remains one, to recover Nigeria. And you can only recover Nigeria with your PVC. And Atiku Abubakar is coming to do that. He has a recovery plan. Thank you, Senator Andrew. And next time we call you on the show, I hope you come again. Thank you very much. So stay tuned tomorrow. We come on again on the show. And don't forget to follow us on all our social media handles, AtikuLive. Thank you for watching.